We are at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the place that Jesus was crucified, died, buried, and resurrected. And that's the most important thing. The Orthodox call it the Resurrection Church, which is, I think, a better name for it because the tomb, it's holy, but it's empty. They're still renovating the floor of the church. It's summer, almost the end of April 2026. You can see that they're still doing it. Now, I'm not a lot of tourists. There is a ceasefire between Iran and America, but I'm not sure that for a long time. Then the tourists are a little bit afraid to reach here. There are only a few of them. And I'm walking inside the church that are being renovated right now. Look at, for example, the doors of the church. Looks real, but it's not. It's a replica. And the real doors are being renovated, not here, in one of the best factories of Jerusalem. But you can see how beautiful is that church that was built for the first time only in the 4th century. Why 4th century? Why not immediately after Jesus' resurrection? Mainly because the Romans didn't let the Christians to be Christians. Strange, isn't it? Only the 4th century when St. Helen and Constantine convert the Romans into Christianity, they became Christians. And only then they could build the churches. And one of the first churches that were built is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, but sadly it's been destroyed so many, not only by the fire of 1808, but by the Muslims who didn't like the church, and earthquakes. So many reasons. I'm entering the church, but it's a little bit noisy at the beginning, and I'm trying to see or to look for a moment of silence. They are renovating now the floor of the slopes of the Golgotha, and the entrance won't be from the regular entrance. It will be from the exit of them. Then we will enter, but that video is dedicated to everyone who are watching it, but mostly for Mary Ann Quaid and for her son Joshua. Then I will enter as quick as I can. We will climb up to the Golgotha, and let's pray that it will be less noisy. But look at the doors, and slowly you can see that it's not the real one. Ouch. Then let me run all the way up to the Golgotha. I'm climbing to the Golgotha through the exit now because of that. Oh gosh, a little bit of quietness. Not for long. We reached the Golgotha, the place that Jesus was crucified, and we are at the Roman Catholic side. The church is divided into two. The church belongs to Roman Catholic, Orthodox churches, Greek Orthodox, Armenian. Then you will see so many different kind of chapels here. We are at the Catholic part, and everything that you see here is new because in 1808 that church was burned down. Then most of the mosaics that you can see here from the time of Eve, actually these are from Eve until Jesus' time, is on the wall, except of that part, which is Crusader mosaic that left in the church, and not a lot of them like that. Straight ahead is where they nailed him to the cross. And by the way, I bought that cross at Easter time, Easter Sunday, but the church was closed and I couldn't bless it, but at least it was with me from Easter. And To the right here, you can see another Via Dolorosa station. That's where they stripped Jesus from his clothes. By the way, if you want to have your own cross, and I have a variety of holy products, go into the description, the text attached the video, and look for Buy Me a Coffee link. There you will see all the options. If you won't find it, write me a comment and I will send you the link. Next to it, in the Catholic chapel, is another station of the Via Dolorosa. This is the Pietà. Mary is holding the dead body of her son. Here you can see the spirit that entered to her heart. Because Mary knew from day one, almost from day one, from the presentation of the temple, that Jesus will die in front of her eyes. Then you can feel the agony. And Mary and Quaid, we have only one child, that we can actually understand Mary. I hope that you can hear me. I'm so... I will be so happy if you will be able to say yes. At the Greek Orthodox part, you can see the crucifixion itself. And let me bless the cross. At the side, you can see John to the right and Mary to the left. Let me stand right there. And on top of Jesus, you can see a sin list. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. And the bedrock itself. Let us enter to the only place that I will be able to touch the Calvary, the Golgotha stone, the bedrock. Mary and Joshua have been blessed that cross. That cross is full with energy, and this is only the beginning of it. We are living out the Golgotha, but not before I will bless it with the holy fire. I know that you do have two more crosses, Mary Ann, and this is for Joshua. Then now you do have the Trinity, just like you mentioned, three crosses that can protect everyone, and that will be Joshua cross in his apartment where he will grow. Before they will start again with the noise, although I can see that one of them just left, then maybe we will have a little bit of break. Let me bless it at the anointing stone. This is where they anointed the body of Jesus. Let me show it to you, because it looks like it might be a little bit quiet here. We've been at the crucifixion place. And after he died, like every other Jew, they bury him in the way of the Jews. At the same day, they anointed the body of Jesus They put a shroud around him and then they bury him in that manner at Joseph of Arimathea tomb, which was a very important and rich Jew. He had his own Jewish rock-cut cave to bury his family, and you can see the cave right here. But the cave doesn't look like the tomb of today, or the tomb of today doesn't look like a cave. And that is mainly because the cave itself been destroyed so many times by the enemies of the Christians, and they built on top of it a cupola. You can see it in front of you. They cut it from the cave, but we found evidence from the cave itself of the 4th century, and we know that after they, as you can see, they excavate here and renovating the floor, but they're excavating beneath it, and they found so many columns that shows you that that area was a garden of a rich man, Joseph of Arimathea, and he gave Jesus his own tomb. I think I already blessed that your Benedictus cross at the tomb itself. Sadly, I cannot enter with my camera, with my video into it, but I already blessed it. You can see 2 chapels. The first one with a candlelight, and that is where the angels took care that no one will steal the body of Christ. The second one is the tomb itself. Now I noticed that one of the chapels are closed. I don't know why, there's no light, and I'm a little bit afraid to enter to it. It's spooky. But there you will find another tomb, and you can find it in so many videos that I took of the church. You can see the future stones. But let me see what's happening there. Boo. Wait a minute. Let me use the flashlight just like they are using. I never entered here in that condition. They're entering to a rock-cut cave, and the Jews at that time, the rich ones, used to bury their family at a cave with so many niches to put the body in it, and if there was no space, they used to put the bones of the dead in a kind of a box by the name ossuary, and they couldn't bury someone else instead of it. But, and this is the but, Jesus got a tomb that no one used before. This is the tomb. Joseph of Arimathea had his own tomb here, but after he died, after Jesus, he gave Jesus his own tomb that no one used before, and he built himself another tomb right there. You saw the Coptic chapel, and the Coptic chapel is attached to the tomb itself. Let me drink a little bit. I'm talking for Mark, I don't know, 4 hours now without resting, and let me just drink and I will continue soon. Let's continue our tour at the church. I know that you are Catholic, then let me bless it in a very important chapel. This is Sunday, Resurrection Day, and Mary just was standing here looking for Jesus' body, and she found a gardener, and he told her that he is Jesus himself. Go and tell it to the disciples that didn't believe her at the beginning. Let us enter to a chapel that belongs to the Catholic. Because no one is there praying now, I can actually bless the cross right here. Beautiful chapel. And one of the stones that Jesus was sitting on and the Romans were laughing at him is right in front of you. You can see they are renovating the floor. That wall is from 4th century, guys. 4th century. And you can see that that church was built in different times, different architecture style. Renovating, it's never end. It's never end. According to the Greek Orthodox, this is the prison of Jesus. Now, when Jesus arrived at church, he had to wait for his turn. And according to what we believe, this is the place that he was waiting for his crucifixion. Joshua, I know your mother so well. We are talking via Facebook and every day. She's writing me messages and very important messages. I know that she loves you very much. She bought that cross from almost her last penny. Then you must understand, she is so in love with you. She will take care of everything that you will ask. Be kind, although I know that you are. She never mentioned that we have problems with Joshua. She just mentioned that Joshua must follow Jesus. And I think you do. Then let me take you to see where St. Helen find the true cross. The smell of incense. Soon we will have ceremony, kind of a little Via Dolorosa of the Catholic in their church. But I can already feel or smell the incense. And before that, they will have an incense ceremony. By the smell, they already had it, but because of it, it's actually open here. Now, this amazing mosaic is not so old, but it represents the horrible story that happened to the Armenians. 1.5 million of the Armenians were butchered by the Ottomans, by the Turkish in 1915, in April. This Thursday, I'm going to be with them. I'm going to march all over the old city. And if you don't know about it, this is the time, the good time to study. The amazing camera is almost dead. Every few minutes it stops by itself. Or maybe it's a mission or a message from someone else, Jesus. With your help, with your support, I will buy a new camera soon. And if you want to help me, look at the like button. Next to it, you will find a link of PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee. You can do that through there. Oh, sorry. Next to the like button, there's the shape of a heart. And you can help me buy my new camera from YouTube. But at the description, text attached, you will find 2 more options. The first one is Buy Me a Coffee. And the second one is PayPal. And every penny counts. Thank you for doing it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm taking you now to, because I've been here, but the camera stopped working. I will do that again. This is where we believe St. Helen sat here when they found the true cross, which is down there. Then let us go all the way down, but thanks to the Armenians and the event of the incense, we can actually enter to here. The Armenians were the first one who became Christians, converted into Christianity as a nation. Only 23 years later, St. Helen and Constantine will start to do that for the rest of the Romans. And then that's why there are so many Armenian chapels here. And right here you can see a beautiful, beautiful chapel. But before we talk about the chapel, this is the bedrock, but this is beneath the bedrock because King Herod used that place as a quarry. And a quarry, just like the tomb that you saw, is always outside the city. And later on, they use it as a water system. You can see the buckets holes. At the Ethiopian part of the church, the statue of St. Helen holding the cross, and Joshua, you are holding that cross because that cross will be yours. And when you will feel bad, hold that cross and pray because the energy is so strong. Here in that spot, they found the true cross. And St. Helen asked herself, all right, there are 3 crosses. How do I know that one of them will be Jesus' cross? She took a Jewish, according to different stories, a Jewish dead body was on the way to the cemetery, and the first 2 crosses touched her body. Nothing happened. The second and the third one, of course, you know that she actually resurrected. She cut the true cross into 3. One was here in the church of the Holy Sepulchre. The other one was at Constantinople. The third one was at Rome. There is a small relic here, relic of the crosses by the Franciscans, and the other one is at the Greek Orthodox. Sadly, it's closed now that I cannot enter to the Greek Orthodox chapel, but I do have so many videos of the church, and I'm sure that you will, if you will look for it, you will find it. Then we are climbing all the way up. Back to the ground floor. On the way, you will see a lot of graffitis of crosses on the wall. A lot of them are from the Crusader time. This is another piece of the stone that Jesus, according to tradition, sat on him when they mocked him, beat him, put a crown of horn. And why not to bless your cross here as well? It's going to be noisy again. It will be like that it's like that for the last 2 years. And because there are no tourists, they are doing more and more renovations here. You can see the lower part of the Golgotha. We have been at the upper part. Let me show you it from another angle, but it's going to be noisy. This is the lower part of the Golgotha. According to the Orthodox, this is the chapel of Adam. According to the Orthodox, when Jesus resurrected, just before the resurrection, he went all the way down to, in a way, hell, and he took all the same people back to here. For example, King David and King Solomon, they never been baptized. Then they brought to here to be baptized, and Adam and Eve. Then, according to tradition, chipped a teardrop, fell all the way down, and Adam and Eve actually resurrected, and this is the tomb of Adam. Your cross is so strong. I know that you can buy the Benedictine cross in every Benedictine church, but this one was bought in Jerusalem and blessed in the church. Then you can imagine how important it is. Let me run away from the noise. Oh wow, when I entered the church early morning it was freezing. Now it's quite hot and blue sky. Look how beautiful it is. You can hear the Greek Orthodox praying in their chapel. Thank you for being with me in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I want you to bless Joshua and Mary and Quaid, if it's okay by you. She is devoted to Jesus, and if you are devoted to Jesus and you reach that minute, it means that you are special as well. And thank you for being with me in that amazing video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.